negotiating deals.
Buying me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit.
I want me a million.
Rebels, ha ha, everything legit with Wise and Pitt. You know it's real if they said it.
You are now listening to Rebels Radio with Wise and Pitt.
Yes, sir, my boy. Welcome back, man, to another episode, man, of Everything's Legit podcast, coming to you live from Rebels Radio. It's your boy Wise checking in.
It's your boy Pitt. You already know. It's everything legit. Let's go.
Come on, man. You know how we get down, man. Another week. We here, bro. You know how we get it. How you feeling, man, before we even tap into it, man? How's everything with you?
Man.
How's your mental health?
Nah, it is, man. I'm lovely right now, dog. I'm lovely. How about yourself?
I'm straight, bro. You know, everything good. Can't complain. Tapping into the culture. A lot of good things happening. A lot to look forward to. You know.
A lot.
Yeah, man. A lot to look forward to. A lot of things happening. A lot of beautiful things happening off in the culture this week. You know, where you want to start, man? How you want to take it this week?
I feel like we gotta I seen a lot of Jay-Z this week.
It's been a lot of Jay-Z this week.
A lot of Mr. Carter this week.
It's been a lot of Mr. Carter. Yeah.
I guess we can start with whatever Mr. Carter. First of all, I think it was during a basketball game last night or a couple days ago or something. I saw that Tiffany and Co. commercial, the actual commercial.
I've been seeing it a couple times.
Yeah, I think that was my first time seeing it, but I've seen it like once since then. And it's a dope commercial.
Yeah.
At first I was like, whoa, what is this?
Which one did you see? You know they got a couple of them on TV.
I saw the one, it's him and Beyonce, they showing. I didn't know at first that it was the Tiffany's commercial.
Was it like them out?
I should have because I kept seeing diamonds. Like I'm seeing diamonds, and, you know what I'm saying?
Was the one they was like out on the town together? They was like,
no, it's like when they were in like this very scenic place, condo type place.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, they got another one out. They got another one out where they like out on the town together, like in the old Rolls Royce together. And that's the one where Blue pop up.
I think the one I saw, she's out. One scene, she's outside of the condo in the Rolls Royce, and he's looking out the window. She looks out the window. Yeah. That was a dope commercial, though. Yeah, that was a dope commercial.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that people be killing. That's the ones that people killing them for, because you know, between that and the Basquiat, weird, but man,
that was dope, though.
Yeah, man. But like you said, man, we start with some positivity. Shout out to Jigga Man Jay all over the place this weekend. First things first. He was a first ballot Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee.
Yeah, that was big too.
Huge. He was inducted by Obama and Dave Chappelle, which was super dope. And also Jay-Z accepting the award in class, being Jay-Z, being who he is, also doing the right thing by giving a major shout out to Biggs and Dame, as he should have, giving them their proper respect, because without Rockefeller, without Dame, there is no Rock. Without Biggs, there is no Rock. Without Rock, there is no Jay-Z. We're not even here having this moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was really big in him to even do that, especially on that stage and in that moment, knowing that he had to, do the right thing, and he did. That's, once again, Jay-Z putting the culture first. That's just what he do, man.
Yeah, that was dope. And I've noticed a lot lately, and just recent, maybe the last year or two. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this a few weeks ago when Nelly accepted his well, I Am Hip Hop Award. What was it?
Yeah,
The
the BET
BT
Awards.
Awards. Yeah, and we've seen a lot of people, you know, just like we've seen a lot of artists, you know, getting their flowers while they're still alive, as opposed to, you know, us waiting until they die and then talking about how great they are and all of that. We've been seeing a lot more of that. And also those artists in return have been, like you said, doing the right thing and publicly acknowledging the people who helped make them who they are. Uh, like you said, Jay mentioned Dame, uh, Nelly in his acceptance speech, although it was at the end of the speech after he thanked the whole universe, he ultimately thanked the Saint Lunatics,
Yeah.
which we know that they've been kind of going through their thing for a few years.
Yeah.
So
Still
I'm
is.
I'm glad to see that trend. You know, even though it's not it doesn't mean that okay, we're gonna see them together all the time now, and oh, the Saint Lunatic's gonna drop a new album. It don't mean none of that. It just means that we were friends, we were cool, we were close, we shared space together, we shared time together, we made history together. Y'all helped make me who I am, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful for that. Um, and I think there's a lesson for everybody in that, and just being able to acknowledge the people who help you be who you are. And that don't mean we're gonna kick it together all the time.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think all of that kind of stemmed from the Jeezy and Gucci verses. You know what I'm saying? They kind of
Started that. They did. You're right. They kicked off that trend, whatever you want to call it. Seeing that, you know, and especially that magnitude of
yeah.
that really helped. Yeah, because that was one of the biggest rivalries, and they decided to come together. It's like if they can do it, anybody can.
Yeah, especially if it ain't even no like real animosity. It's just we fell out over some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We fell out. So, like I said, it's good to see that. Shout out once again to Jay for that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. It's not like we didn't know it was coming. We knew it was going to happen, but you know, Jay-Z is Jay-Z, and just because he has become such a figure, such a large figure, let's not forget, you know what I'm saying, to still, you know, acknowledge what he's done for the culture. So that's one thing, you know, shout out to Jay for that.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Jay, and not to be minimized by any degree. In fact, needs to be held to the same standard, the same caliber, needs to be held on the same plateau, the same platform, everything. Shout out to LL Cool J.
What's up?
Who also got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, deservedly so. Even during Jay-Z's speech, he giving it up to LL, letting him know that, and it was so true what he said. He said, "You the first artist, the first one to let us know it was okay to be vulnerable. You know, you was the first one that can be street, give us that I'm bad, and turn around and tell us that, yo, I need love too, and be okay."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, LL was the first of a lot of things. First to cross over into that big screen role, getting money both ways. Like, and he's still out here, you know, doing this, thriving, you know, got his hand all in the culture, not forgetting the culture, still doing things, especially with the Rock the Bells and all that. Like he knee deep into it. He doing exactly what he's supposed to do as a gatekeeper, as a leader in this culture. Like, he's acting like it, and him being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is well overdue. Should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But the fact that he's in now deserves to be in there.
Oh yeah. Another thing about LL is, even like back to the Nelly acceptance speech.
Yeah.
He gave props to LL because he said LL shaped him. You know what I'm saying? We all saw that.
Yeah.
Um,
Try to emulate
but
him in a
yeah,
lot of ways.
yeah, in a whole lot of ways. And it's one thing. My introduction to LL was crazy because my oldest brother grew up in that same time, and he went through a period where he thought he was LL. Like there was no difference between him and LL. He was wearing the track suits and the Kangol hats and the chains, looking crazy. But that was, you know what I'm saying? But that was like my introduction to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saw my brother dressed like that in pictures before I knew who LL was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, oh, wait, this dude looked just like him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, when we were coming up, you know, watching Hot Boys, we were wearing jabos and, you know what I'm saying, white tees and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's been another thing that I wanted to point out is that even before all of the Hall of Fame, I mean Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions, both LL and J have also been much more visible as far as, you know, tapping into the culture.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a fact.
ain't too many people from LL's time that you're gonna see on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as he kicked off the Rock the Bells joint, I see him on my timeline like every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as we know, as most of us know,
Mm-hmm.
Jigga finally came out on IG. finally popped out.
Did his thing. And just as quick as he came, as
He left.
quick as he went. Jay jumped on there, promoted his new movie, which I just watched last night. Super dope. Like, bro, did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, like, I don't know like how into like cowboy movies you are. But it's literally a black cowboy movie, and it's crazy to watch. Like halfway through it, you're realizing you're watching a black cowboy movie, and it's a real cowboy movie. Like
it's the one with Idris.
yeah,
in it?
yeah. Dude, we watched. Man, I was glued, bro, from beginning to the first scene of the movie. Gets you like, wow, okay, this is where we going. You know what I'm saying? And then you watch it, and it's a real life black Western cowboy movie. You halfway through it, you watching it, and you like, yo, this is really a Western cowboy movie. Like this is what I'm really watching, and it's just dope to see that and like to think about that avenue that now is opening up. Because if you know anything about the history and about cowboys, the original cowboys are black. That's why they were called cowboys. So just to see that process and see that go through and see that lane open up. But just Jay-Z, you know, having his hand in that and playing a part in that, dog, it's super dope to have him and LL Cool J, like you said, amongst us, still making those moves. And another thing that the two of them do quietly that we probably don't give them enough credit for is they really do tap in with the younger generation. And especially at a time where the younger generation feels like the older generation don't reach back out to them, because really they don't. They are one of the few from that generation that actually does and is actively reaching back out. And so you have to give them much credit and respect for that. They both deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It did make me think though, why are we still putting so much prestige and energy into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Man, I don't got no answer. I don't got no more words for that. That's just one of those things, dog. Ask Kanye. We might have to ask Kanye about that.
We'll get into that in a second. But it's just interesting to me, man. Like, that's just one of those. It's it's our culture. So I can't remember the last time rock and roll was relevant. The only time rock and roll is relevant now is when a hip hop artist is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So to me, it's like, okay, at what point are we gonna say, okay, this is the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, and we're gonna give it the same respect, same reverence, same everything, even more because this is ours now than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But
yeah, I don't have an answer. I don't have an explanation, dog. I ain't got nothing for that one. That's just it's up there. You know what I'm saying?
man, but some other good news is since we own this, positive vibe, Missy Elliot finally receiving her Hollywood Star Walk of Fame. And
That's crazy.
Dude. It's like, it feels like the world is just not catching on to what we've already been telling them. Yo, these people have been super dope in our culture for years, and we've been telling y'all that the stuff that y'all biting, the stuff that y'all really like, that y'all taking from us, they the ones that created it.
What's crazy is I feel like that's just like I feel like the world is just now catching on to the fact that Black people created your reality. Black people created everything that you look for to escape your day-to-day monotony. Black people are your entertainment. Black people invented entertainment. Like you just said, the first cowboys were what?
Come on, man.
Black. If this, I think I said this a few weeks ago, if this world had no Black people, they'd just be eating rice every day. White rice too, just regular old rice. Like, it'd just be bland.
Bruh.
Nothing to look forward to.
Have you been watching the Colin Kaepernick thing on Netflix?
No, I'm saving that. I usually would say I'm not going to watch it because everybody's talking about it, but I'm saving it. I'm going to watch it.
You know me, I like the hype pass, but it was enough people that I respect talking about it, so I was like, all right, let me check it out, and it's good. I ain't gonna lie, it's good. It's a little contradictory because he's doing his thing on there about the NFL at the same time he's still trying to get in the NFL, so it's like, bro, what but his storyline.
I never was sold on the thought that he was trying to get back in the NFL.
I mean, he had the tryout, he had the whole workout.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get into the NFL, you're trying to if you're trying to get into an institution, you're saying that I'm going to do things your way. Now, if you're trying to get into the NFL and you're going to do a tryout, but you don't do it where they think or have planned for you to do it, you just pull your own stunt and do something else somewhere else. You've already said, all right, y'all let me in. I'm gonna be defiant. That's like
I get you. You're right, but you still are trying to get in. Like you trying to get in on your own path.
You're sending a message that I'm gonna get in, but I want to do my own thing.
But you got to get in and do that.
Yeah, and that's why he ain't in.
But he wanted to be in, though. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, he wanted to be in, but he wanted to be in on some. I'm trying to infiltrate.
Yeah. He wanted to. He had his reasons, but whatever your reasons are, that stuff that you down talking, you had to go through it. You wanted to go through it, to get that position. But I was saying that to say that it was a scene. I ain't gonna, cause you didn't watch it yet, but he was.
I've probably seen it on TikTok.
He was eating food, and his mom, his doctor mom is white, and she cooked the food, and you see Colin grab the salt and pepper. He doctoring it up, and so she looking at him, and she's like, Colin, it's seasoned enough, and he's like, yeah. As he keep on shaking, right? So then, like a couple weeks later, he finds himself like at the black side of town, and it's his first time experiencing black people, and he's in there, and they hand him a plate of food, right? So his mom is in there as these black people hand him a plate of food. So she turns to the black people and she was like, "Oh, you might want to get the salt and pepper because he loves salt and pepper." They cut to Colin. He over there grubbing. He was like, "No, mom, this season real good." But like you said, bro, ain't no black people. It ain't seasoned right, man.
Yeah,
but
exactly. We are the seasoning of this planet,
man, and they just not understanding it. They just not getting.
and they
to
just
it.
not catching on to it.
Missy,
And I don't know if it's because they feel bad or they really just didn't realize what they were suppressing. You are suppressing the color of the world.
willful ignorance, bro. It's just what it is, because they can champion.
It takes your kids to let you know that, yo,
You tripping.
black people are dope. Like, actually, we should have had them around a long time ago. Like, it is what it is. At any rate, I mean, better late than never.
Yeah, man.
But never late is better.
Never late is better. But because it's Missy, and because we already know she's super dope, and once again, this is why we need a hip hop Hall of Fame. This is why we need a hip hop Walk of Fame, because this type of shame would not. We been knew years ago. We could have told you how dope this woman is. You know what I'm saying?
Missy was probably one of the dopest lyricists. Like, she can be mentioned in the conversation. She could stand toe to toe with a lot of those male lyricists. Like, if we was talking about verses. And we keep hearing how everybody's scared of Busta Rhymes.
Everybody's scared of Missy.
If you put Missy in front of Busta, it's gotta be a dope battle.
Listen, man, on the surface, it's a dope battle. Missy is going to kill Busta Rhymes in the verses.
You think so?
Dog. On the surface, it sound cool because we thinking they both characters, they both colorful, they both. Missy can dig into R&B bag, rap bag, pop bag. Missy is Drake before Drake. Missy had a hand in Genuine's career. She had a huge hand in Aaliyah's career. Had a huge hand in Tweet's career. This is just R&B. Had a huge hand in Khaleesi's career. That's R&B and rap. And then you get to the rap side. You get to all of the production and the rapping that she's been a part of. Then you get to the production side, all of the producing that she's been doing. Then you get to the video side, all the directing that she's been doing. Then you get to the fashion side, all the trends that she said. Missy's a unicorn, man.
You're right.
Like, it doesn't get any better than her in our culture. She is the definition of hip hop, man. Shout out to Missy. She's finally getting the recognition she deserves.
Misdemeanor.
Come on, man, on the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Something else that happened this weekend. I don't know if you saw it, but did you see URL presents with Drake?
No, I heard about it though.
So Drake hosted a URL battle this weekend. Till Death Do Us Part was the name of the battle. It was live on the Caffeine app, and I almost forgot about it, but luckily the Caffeine app sent me a notification, said URL rap battle about to start, and I was like, oh, that's right. And I turned it on, and as soon as you turn it on, it's Drake right there, right in the middle of the screen. So he was there. But it's not the first time Drake's been tapped in.
What
bro.
Was it? I heard it was at his crib.
This is in LA.
He got a crib in LA.
So I don't know if it was at his crib, but it was packed house.
Somebody told me he hosted a rap battle at his crib for his birthday.
It was his birthday. It might have been his crib. I know it was in LA. I know it was a big venue. It might have been his crib. The card had Pat Stay versus Real Sick. It had Jazz the Rapper versus Gaddis, T-Rex versus Rum Nitty, Surf versus Calico, Tay Rock versus New Jersey Twerk, and Loaded Lux versus Geechee Gotti. They was all some really dope battles. The only battle that really mattered to me was that Lux versus the Gotti. And that was the battle to me that was going to either put Gotti on that level where I think he already is, or it's going to remind individuals that Lux is just the best ever. And Gotti solidified his spot where he needs to be. He came out swinging, came out hard. It felt like to me, like he kind of gut punched. He kind of gut punched Lux in the first round, and Lux never really recovered. Lux rapped though, but it felt like that Gotti was forcing him to rap, and Lux wasn't really expecting that and didn't prepare for that. So if it was anybody else that he was battling, if it was anybody else that Lux was battling, those rounds probably would have hit harder. But because Gotti was really getting into it, to me it felt like it was a 3-0. I saw some 2-1s, but it was a dope battle. It was dope to see. Like I said, I think I said last week, it felt like URL is having a huge year. And this is just another example of that. They're getting more attention. During the battle, Drake announced that he wanted to do like a fantasy URL type thing where he wanted.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, he wanted to get like a couple like entertainers with money, and they put their money up behind a battler that they like, and they're gonna have an event where this your battler. All right, we're gonna go head to head. You go head to head, have a tournament style and fantasy style. That's what Drake proposed at this rap battle. They said they're gonna do. So shout out to URL, shout out to Smack, shout out to Caffeine, all that, man. It was dope. To me, battle rap is the foundation of the culture. Like to me, that's where like
it's definitely one of those elements that I think not has gotten lost, but it's been kind of pushed to the side because we look at the mainstream and we look at, what I'm saying? We just look at artists doing their thing over beats. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at the raw lyricism anymore. You know what I'm saying? In essence, most hip hop music is nothing but battle rap
with the
because
beat.
all they're saying is, with the beat. Because all they're saying is, me this, I this, I'll do this. You won't do this. You're this, you're that. You know what I'm saying? So in essence, that's all it is. Except you're not standing in front of a person. You're not having to adjust your delivery and feed off of crowd energy and all of that. So it's definitely an essential element of hip hop that deserves that recognition. But somewhere along the lines, it's kind of been pushed to the side. I don't want to say lost, but it's been pushed to the side.
It's hard to commercialize it. That's why it's hard to.
It's very hard to commercialize.
And I don't think it needs to be. I think it deserves that niche underground following. But I do think that every once in a while it's cool that like a Drake or whatever brings a little light to it, brings a little bit more attention to it. It gets a little bit of run. But I think this is a part of hip hop where business doesn't need to take control of the creativity part of it. Like let it stay rap. Let it stay battle rap, because even like when I heard some people talking about it and they're like, yo, how can you say that? How y'all okay with a battle rapper saying this? Y'all okay with a battle rapper talking like that? To me, battle rap is just like, to me, there are two people in the world that can say whatever and get away with it. And that's battle rappers and comedians. Those are the only two. You know what I'm saying? And if you are an established battle rapper and you're an established comedian, you have that pass to make something funny, and you have a pass to say whatever you got to say to make it witty and rhyme. Like, that's just what it is. Culture. It's a disrespectful culture, and it's that's part of what it is. It's part of the entertainment. It's part of that package. That's what it is. So, shout out to Drake. Shout out to URL.
Yeah.
Shout out to all that, man. Shout out to culture building up.
Yeah, shout out to kids. Shout out to
to all that. Since we on Drake.
Okay then.
Since we on the boy,
Man.
we might as well go ahead and get into the meat and the potatoes of it all.
Yeah.
Your boy popped back out, made himself seen and known. Mr. Kanye West dropped the interview.
Yay.
Interestingly enough, with Noriega. And we'll get into why that's interesting as well. But did you see it? Did you get a chance?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff.
What was your initial thoughts of it?
It was very interesting. I did notice that Ye does not drink Hennessy, but that's something different for another day. One thing that I liked was a lot of Noriega's reactions were like, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't ready for that. He kept saying, I wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And
why you think Noriega was reacting like that?
I think it's because he don't have those types of interactions regularly. Like, I think he's usually more prepared for the person. Kanye is very unpredictable. And one thing that I gathered from the whole thing, and honestly, I didn't want to say this so early in the conversation, but whatever. We here now. Kanye is kind of that. Like, he's stuck in drunk uncle at the family reunion mode. Like, he's going to say whatever he wants to say. He's going to say whatever's on his mind. He's going to say it the way his brain told him to say it. He doesn't try to filter it and make it politically correct. He's going to say it exactly the way his brain said it to him. And that is why that's the beauty of Kanye. Because he never doubled back on anything he said. Only thing that he said was, he would talk about certain people. Now, I'm sure we're finna get into that. He would talk about certain people, but he would say, this doesn't mean that I don't like him or that I hate him. I love him. But in Kanye's mind, he's trying to build a Black community. So he feels like we should be able to be transparent, completely honest with each other. You know what I'm saying? And which is exactly what the drunk uncle does, except the drunk uncle is speaking out of drunkenness. Kanye is speaking out of yay.
Oh man. Listen, to me, I think Nori exposed himself a couple times in there. Like like in the middle of the interview, he mentioned ever so slightly, and he kind of like rushed past it. But he mentioned that just before the interview, him and Jay talked. He also mentioned that Jay texted him during the interview. And we know the affiliation and the feelings that Nori has for Jay-Z. And we also know what the relationship is between Jay-Z and Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
So we understanding what side of that spectrum Nori stands on. It was a bit weird to see Kanye West and Nori doing an interview together. And it was also a bit weird because during the interview, Kanye West kept mentioning, yeah, Jay-Z's my boss. Like, he kept saying it. He's my boss. He's my boss. And then Noriega turns around. Yeah, I just talked to Jay-Z before you walked in, and Jay-Z texted me during your. It was like, hold up. So, wait, hold up. Like, that was, to me, that was weird. It was already weird that.
Yeah, when he was like, Jay told us not to let you in with the
like that was
on.
Yeah. So it was like, wait, so you mean tell me Jay-Z called you? He told you. To me, it felt like, it even felt like that Kanye found out about that because his response, Jay-Z's my boss. Like, it kind of felt like he kind of knew something was up between the two of them. And because I've never heard Kanye even refer to Jay-Z as my boss before like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but
you know, it is what it is. He got the interview. To me,
I feel like that's the Kanye he got that day. He got that Kanye on that day.
Well, to me, the whole thing, Nori's being paid out the whole thing because if you even keep up with Nori's Drink Champs, he been champion. Yo, I'm about to get the Drake interview first. So he didn't get the Drake interview. So what you turn around and do? All right, I'm finna go get the Kanye interview. But the person that pays you, that sponsors your podcast, your homie, your big homie, he don't rock with Kanye like that. So that's, Nori playing, both sides. To me, it's just weird. But he did it. It is what it is. I felt like it was open about as open and about as honest of a Kanye that we're gonna get. And to me, you have to applaud him, whether you agree with him, whether he's right, whether he's wrong. You gotta kind of applaud him for what he's doing because this is what we ask artists to do. We ask artists to be honest. We ask artists to be open. And once you decode and you get through how Kanye communicates, what he's saying wasn't really wrong.
Oh, no, not at all.
It's just the delivery was a little wacky.
Some of the things Kanye said, like, they can't be viewed as wrong because early on in the interview he said that, you know what I'm saying, he already let us know that he's vulnerable to trolling, and you know what I'm saying, it's like when he talked about the Drake situation, right. He was like, Drake told him he didn't sleep with Kim, but he never denied it when it was floating around, when it was a rumor. So it's like, you let it float around.
He even
I would rather you, you know what I'm saying, I would rather you do it and then just let me deal with that than you just let that live in my head.
Yeah, he said Drake was throwing subliminals, even that got your wife in the head and heels giving her chills, like
yeah, you know what I'm saying, like. So, but we all know that that's the way Drake is. Drake is just like he said. Drake's diss records aren't direct diss records. Drake's diss records are, it's subs. And I'm after all of this, I'm still here to make money. Yeah, those old school diss records don't really make money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They run for a little bit and it's over with.
Yeah. But I feel
back to back right now in the club, and it's still gonna go off.
Even when he said, he was like, I walked into a party with my son, and they was playing sicko mode. He said, I got a day where I go on here in sicko mode, and it is, it's messing with me or whatever. But a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff Kanye brings on himself. He's not without fault, especially with the Drake thing. It takes a couple people to make a rumor like that. You know what I'm saying? Kim didn't come out and immediately denounce that rumor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's part of it as well. And even when he said, because you can kind of hear in his voice that he's still kind of like unsure about that, because he said that, yo, you didn't sleep with my wife, but you let that rumor fly, you let that feeling fly, and then he was like, and you did everything around it. He was like, was you in her DMs? Was you in her friends' DMs? Was you, so like a lot of stuff that Kanye was saying, he was giving us like an inside glimpse of what was going on. You just got to catch it, and then once
Kanye told us a lot. Kanye told us a lot without a lot of things that
you got to
he
just
didn't
catch
say.
it. You got to catch it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that he didn't say. Like that, we learned a lot about Kanye. That he, you know, what I'm saying, as far as him having these, you know, feelings, like, you know, what I'm saying, like you said, you didn't say you didn't sleep with my wife, but you let that linger, and we know that what he really means is you let that linger in my head, like.
You did.
You know what I'm saying? You got me second guessing my family. Like, I'm coming and looking at my family, you know, feeling different. And just about him being jealous of how many times did he mention what's buddy name?
John Legend.
No.
Talib Kweli?
Virgil. How many times did he
but he admitted that too. He admitted that. He said, I'm human. He said, what you expect? Of course I'm gonna be jealous of that. And you know, that was honest, but I did take away that he clearly hates Talib Kweli. He hates John Legend, and he hates Big Sean.
I think those things are very.
I totally forgot about the Talib Kweli thing until, because when he first mentioned him, I was like, I thought he was joking, and then he went back to him, and I was like, wait, and then it started bringing back to my mind that I forgot that they had a little thing.
But that's how you know Noriega did not forget, and he brought up certain names for certain reasons. Remember last week, Big Sean just came out and said he's no longer on Good Music.
Mm-hmm.
And then this week we hear about Kanye saying that the worst thing he's ever done was sign Big Sean.
Yeah. He did give his reasoning.
But his reasoning had nothing to do with music.
No, but I understood why he's upset. Because he's valid in why he's upset. You my boy. I changed your life. Yes, I put you in a position to change your family's life.
Yes.
I did all of this for you.
Yes.
And the moment I do something that you don't agree with, the first opportunity you get, you throwing me under the bus.
I get it. I get why he's mad. But
you had the choice to not even go that route. Yo, that's my man. He's changed my life. I don't agree with what he got going on, but that's my man.
Big Sean did and said what most of us were thinking. Like, okay.
But Big Sean shouldn't have been the one to do that.
I can agree to that. I agree to that. But he did what he did because he's just as vulnerable and emotional as Kanye.
But I will say that it's convenient for Kanye to lean on that now that Big Sean is out of that contract. You know, also, Big Sean said that he's been with Ye hanging out since that interview. Yeah, he did say that. He said they was at a party and he had that type of energy for him. But that's Kanye. The interview hadn't dropped yet, so he had no obligation to really show you any type of different energy. That's Kanye. That's Kanye.
You're right. That's textbook Kanye, and I get it. But also, you saw Sean's tweet. Now he can't wait to get on Drink Champs.
Yeah, true. But Big Sean has never been that type of dude. So it's interesting that he did that and said that. That's gonna be interesting to see if Nori even.
It's gonna be interesting to see because like him and Kanye are more alike than we would like to think.
It's even interesting to see if Nori even plays into that because again
he probably won't. But now Sean's in album mode. Remember that.
Hopefully it's a good album because what he's been dropping lately has been.
But Here you go. Um, you haven't even listened to your favorite artist album, but you want to talk about you want to you want to talk about Big Sean. But anyways,
There you go.
Sean is he's more, him and Kanye are more alike than they are different. So, and like I said, he's in album mode right now. So of course he's any opportunity he gets. The world already saw the way Kanye talked about him. He's finna go on a run. He's finna go on a run, and that's all he gonna be. All he gonna be doing is,
You hope he
yeah,
gonna go
you
on a
know,
run.
you
We gonna
yeah,
see.
Yay a little loopy, Yay a little loopy, because I was with him and he didn't have that energy.
We gonna see. We gonna see. It's gonna be interesting to see.
And just like Kanye said, we there's too many people depending on us. What you gonna do?
I don't know. It's interesting.
But overall, I enjoyed the interview.
The whole John Legend thing threw me for a loop. I didn't realize he had that type of energy for John Legend. But it felt like once Ye got a little bit sauced and he got a little bit of that weed in him, he was he let it loose and he kind of went in on John Legend a little hard.
Yeah.
But it was funny. But he let us in on a lot. He was open. He was honest. You just had to.
He was honest with himself.
You just had to decode.
And I think that's who he's committed to being. He's committed to never leaving a situation with the regret of saying, okay, I should have said this.
Yeah.
I should have, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I think that's the way most people should be.
You just got to decode how he communicates. And once you do that and you cut through it, you know, he said a lot of vulnerable and honest things. Even Biggs was there. Biggs showed up. Biggs showed up to the interview. He gave him his, even that whole exchange where he talked about, you know, everybody, you know, plays a role. Because he admitted that, I don't read well. I don't read contracts well. He admitted that.
Mm-hmm.
And he admitted that because of that it probably played a role in how his career went and being on the labels that he was on because he didn't read well. And, you know, it was an honest conversation that he had with Nori.
One thing I do agree with is that his theory or philosophy of community and what it should be as opposed to what it is. We as Black people don't always acknowledge the fact that overall we from the same thing. We from the same place. And we shouldn't view one of us being successful as a competition. And like Nori said, being jealous isn't always a bad word. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's
envy. It's the envy.
Sometimes, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's I see what he's doing. I want to be just as good as him. Or I want to have the things he has. It doesn't mean I want to take it from him. It just means I want to put in the work. I'm willing to put in the work to do what he does and be where he's at. And so I do feel like Noriega knew or led things a certain way for certain reasons. But also, I believe that Kanye, like we said, he was very transparent and very open, and he left that interview with no regrets. He was as Kanye as possible, as he could be. And there was nothing like, you know what I'm saying? I can't be like, anybody who watches this show knows Big Sean is my favorite artist. I'm not upset with Kanye about anything that he said. If he feels like signing Big Sean was his the worst thing he's ever done, cool. I'm glad you did it though. Thanks.
Oh man, I thought it was funny when he talked about when Nori talked about his hair, and he was like, "Yo, my hair got more attention than me wearing a Trump hat." He said, "That's why I did it." You know what I'm saying? Like stuff, even like them said that whole conversation about that, like, even though probably the delivery was probably a little weird, the conversation about it, like it made sense, what he was talking about. So that was a dope interview that just dropped. Nori just got that drink.
Hey, that joint had like 1 million views
And
within the first
yeah,
5 hours of it being
I didn't.
available.
The funny, it's a big deal because I usually see like one or two Drink Champ teaser clips floating around when the episode's getting ready to drop. I ain't see none of these teaser clips. The only thing I seen was I woke up early this morning, like 4:00 in the morning, and I just jumped on Twitter to see what was going on, and I saw Kanye was trending, and it's because they had dropped that interview, and they just dropped it, and as soon as they dropped it, it just went viral.
It was the same with me, but somebody has sent me one of the IG clips from the Drink Champs interview, and that led me into the snap. He said this about Big Sean and John Legend. That's what got me. Is like, oh wait, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Then I went to see what Sean was saying, and then I went back and watched the whole interview, and it kind of like, it wasn't. It was Jay being Ye, because like he said, he wants an apology, and it's because he's hurt, because he's a vulnerable person. He puts himself on the line, wears hard on the sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Those are, it's people like that. You know what I'm saying? So he is who he is. We can't take nothing away from him. We know who he is.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Kanye.
Yeah,
coming out doing his thing. Man, is there any new music you've been tapping into this week?
I tapped into that murder music. Snoop Dogg on the hook. Got a verse from Benny the Butcher.
Yes.
Jadakiss and Busta Rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
They ate it. They ate that thing up. Summer Walker, of course. Of course, I had to tap into Summer Walker. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't everything that I hoped it would be. I haven't finished it. I'm probably like on track 10. There's 20 tracks. I've seen every woman on Instagram posting Sierra's Prayer, which is, the last track of the album, and it's Sierra. It's a poem. Sierra. It's a prayer. Sierra is, saying. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that Summer Walker definitely has an audience, and they are definitely tapped in, and they are definitely running the numbers up, and they will continue to do that. Man. This project is gonna last for a while, so guys, buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
This album is gonna carry women into the next summer.
Yeah,
we don't like it. We don't like it, and that's exactly why she created it the way she did. It's tapped in sonically into what women are in need of. And
that's true. That's the fact of the matter is that's why we will feel away. Yeah. But also make sure y'all look into the credits, because London was still in a lot of those productions.
I'm sure he was. She is not dumb.
A lot of those tracks.
You better tap right back into your well.
I will tell you, that is co-parenting at its finest.
Come on, man. You better keep that money in the family. You know what's smart for you.
So, another thing is, there was something else. There was definitely something else. I don't remember what it was.
I definitely been tapping to quite a few things. Shout out to my dog DC. He dropped a new track, Too Much Gas. That thing is hitting.
Too Much Gas.
Eye Candy, Kamikaze, Jay Javinci, Kago Gotti, FSO Dinero, San 1K, C Trick. That's Broward and on a track, you know. That's some unity right there that we've been pushing for. We've been asking to connect with, and when you see artists like that come together and make a dope record, you have to support it, man, because it's enough talent down here for us to be on that type of time, that type of platform. So
yes, sir.
shout out to DC.
Dope track, definitely dope track.
Definitely a dope track. And there's another posse cut I heard getting ready to come out real soon. That we can look forward to, that FLA, that Nova, Roll, and Dirty 1K. That's
I can't wait to y'all hear that thing.
The teaser's out right now, circling the social medias. That's gonna be super dope. That boy Rose finally dropped his brand new album, Richer Than
My boy halfway through up in the middle of it. Okay. You excited. Okay. I got you. I understand. You excited about this. Okay.
Richer Than I Ever Been is coming December 10th, I believe.
December 10th. I'm excited about that. Well, I'm always excited about some Ross. I don't care if it's a Ross verse, a Ross track.
Something, bro. And the fact that it's coming at the end of the year, that fourth quarter music, yes. But definitely need that.
And he couldn't have announced it at a better time. The Celtics were stomping the Heat. But whatever.
We also got some
nice hat though.
We also got some other anticipating news that I was anticipating. Earth Gang finally announced their album drop. Earth Gang is dropping January 22nd, I believe. Ghetto Gods is coming. So finally gonna get that new Earth Gang. Been definitely waiting on that. Also too, I was tapping into Netflix. When I was looking for the J movie, and I noticed that Ludacris has a show on Netflix.
I've been seeing his face floating around a lot lately, and I've been wondering why.
And when I tell you, it's called Karma's World. Karma's World. And I was chilling with my nephews a couple weeks ago, and my nephew only 2-3 years old, and so we sitting there, we watching, and I turn on Netflix and I see this come on, and I turn it on, and when I tell you my nephew was glued to the TV screen, and I was glued right with him. Like, the show was definitely entertaining. It was definitely hip hop because of the little girl had aspirations of being a rapper. That was her dream. And so
that's a show that he put together for his daughter, right?
Yeah, it's a clean cut show. Like, she in there clean rapping. And it just made me think, because I saw a post Ludacris posted of himself at the gym, and he was working out to his daughter's rap CD. And I thought that was super dope. And just listening to the song didn't sound bad. It sounded like some clean music that you would want your kids to listen to. And that's a lane that nobody has really tapped into. And so it's just dope. And he got his daughter writing and producing. She's doing all that on it. And his mission is to create music that kids, hip hop music, that kids,
for kids by kids.
For kids by kids. And it's funny because a couple weeks ago on Breakfast Club, Dylan and what's the little girl's name that be rapping? Oh man, it's gonna kill me. But they were on the Breakfast Club. Dylan and Young Dylan and that girl Lele, that's her name. Young Dylan and that girl Lele. She's the girl that'll be rapping in the car. But they're both like these kid superstars, and so to see them on such a huge platform as a Breakfast Club, they allow their personality to shine, and they're genuinely just kids of hip hop, right? And so when you're watching them and you looking at it, you're like, yo, like we didn't have that. So it's unrecognizable. When you're watching it, you're like, yo, what is this? But it's literally just kids being hip hop. And they are intentional about that. They are intentional about being kids, but being hip hop. You know, like they asked him one of the questions, do you listen to music that has cursing in it? And he was like, yo, we're kids, but we hear music. You know, we love it. And so some of it is going to be in it. He said, we don't go crazy with it, but some is going to be in it. He said, but in our music, we don't curse. We keep it clean. We're kids. We don't talk like that. So our music ain't going to be like that. And they're intentional about that. And to me, that's super dope that they do that. And our kids cannot have that option in hip hop.
You know what? And that's something crazy because we can all remember when Lil Wayne didn't curse. And his music it still had an adult tone to it, but he didn't curse. And a lot, I don't know how you felt, but when he started cursing, it felt weird.
Initially it did, because it felt like he was a kid cursing. It was like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was like, but we also had to understand, okay, he's growing up, you know what I'm saying? And so
that was his way of letting us know that he was growing up.
Yeah. And so
Bow Wow did the same thing.
They had to let us know that their mamas didn't control them no more. Yeah. Their mamas couldn't tell them not what to do no more. So it was dope. At the same time, it was weird. It was awkward. Honestly, me personally, a lot of that first album when he started cursing, what was that, Lights Out or something like that?
Yeah.
Lights Out. That's probably why that album is forgotten. Like, you try to find that album. But
no, it's not on streaming either.
Exactly. That's the forgotten Lil Wayne album.
You gotta have to see it for that one. And
I had it.
That.
I actually had that album. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is that I had that album and we went on a field trip and Ro had The Block Is Hot. Speaking of The Block Is Hot, anniversary of The Block Is Hot just passed a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Also, the anniversary of 400 Degrees just passed. Mm-hmm. But Ro had The Block Is Hot. I had Lights Out. I accidentally broke his Block Is Hot album and I had to give him my Lights Out. That was not a fair trade, by the way, Ro. I apologize. You deserved better than that. Yeah. You deserved better than that. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But also, you know what I'm saying? That was one of those things where we had to accept these guys growing into themselves and who they were gonna be. And you know, Wayne was much better after that.
Yeah, he was. Man, this hip hop growing, man. But yeah, that is pretty much all of the new music that I've been tapping into this week.
I don't remember what I was gonna say, but I do remember. Oh, wait. MF, he's not an artist that we talk about often. He has been on my radar for a minute. He's been around, especially in Broward County, Lauderdale music for a very long time. He just dropped the EP. From Nothing Comes Everything. Y'all go check that out. It's very good production, very good music. I think it's like 7 tracks. I'm 3 tracks in right now because, of course, I had to check out some other stuff. And Kanye's Drink Champs interview was 2 hours and 2.5 hours long. But go check that out. Shout out to my dog Classic. He got his mini concert coming up this weekend. Yeah. So you know that's gonna be an event. He gonna bring the city out.
Yeah, he's definitely
gonna bring the city out. So y'all better get there.
Get there early.
I know Ro got a couple of interviews coming up.
Yep.
We know he gonna do his thing. He also I believe he got some new music dropping. Like you said, like you mentioned, that Nova King, Ro and Dirty 1000, FLA is coming out. Yeah. There's a lot of dope stuff coming out of the city. And that's really where I get my excitement from.
Fourth quarter wrapping up. We gotta end the year off with a bang, and that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? We still got, we still got Art Basel weekend. We still got, Black Friday weekend. So we still got a couple marks to hit. Still got a couple things to touch, a couple opportunities, and that's what we're gonna do.
J Hit Up still applying pressure.
Come on, man. That's a given every day. Like no let up. We on a mission right now, and it's beautiful to see. Also too, it's real dope to see AD being more visual. We talked about the OGs being visual. It's dope to see the individuals that have the power to put people in position be more visible, so you know who's active and who's not. And if you got dope music, and if you got the opportunity and the way to get in tune, keep working, and your opportunity, you're gonna get there. That's just what it is.
Yeah. You just reminded me. Speaking of being more visual, I saw a super dope interview on the Tippy Toe podcast. Silk. If you're from Broward County, you're from Lauderdale, Deep Side Entertainment. You remember AC, Poncho, Peebo, Florida, T Stunner.
Boy, that's Pete
J Baller,
Pete Lauderhill.
J Baller, J2. You remember Deep Side Entertainment? You remember the slime green? You remember the slime green Charger sliding through the hood? You remember all of that? You remember that? You remember those nights that
started all this, boy? Come on, man.
What was that?
Atrium,
Trends, Atrium, Cinema.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all remember that? It's a dope interview out there with Silk.
Yeah.
He dropping gems. He dropping gems in that interview. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no hater. This is Everything's Legit podcast, but Tippy Toe doing this thing.
Definitely
and he pulling in some names with them interviews.
Tippy Toe was definitely doing this thing.
But my favorite one is that Silk interview, because Silk dropped Broward County music knowledge. Like he gave you the history behind what's what and who's who in Broward. And that was a dope interview, man.
Yeah, shout out to Silk, man. Tippy Toe podcast, all that. You already know. Man. Dope. Just want to make sure, my boy, we ain't forgetting anything. See, the Heat still leading top of the East, and the Celtics still bring to the bottom.
Yeah, they still leading on the top in our foot too. After we stuck it in them last night.
Hey man, broken clock is right twice a day. It can happen. It can happen on accident. Do it again.
Sounds good, my boy.
Do it again. That's what I'm getting.
You sitting on the end of Lucky's boot right now.
Listen, man. We focused. How about y'all?
Hey, but I gotta say, one thing I gotta give y'all props on this here. I like those jerseys y'all had on.
Come on, boy. And I remember vividly during the offseason when they first dropped, everybody was hating on them.
Honestly, I honestly only had something to say when I first saw the jersey, and I was like, y'all dropping new jerseys, but that was in the middle of y'all getting beat by somebody in the playoffs. Y'all was getting, who was that? The Bucks?
But everybody did. They was showing like this was coming next season.
I didn't believe it was real. I thought it was just a concept.
Yeah, everybody thought it was either fake or they was hating, but it's all good, setting trends. That's what we do down here.
That was a dope jerseys, and that court is much better than the pink court that y'all be playing on. I'm just saying.
Either way, we a better team than y'all, so it don't matter.
I mean, y'all didn't prove it last night. I'm just saying, like,
you're right.
You're only as good as your last performance.
You're absolutely right, man. Shout out to Odell Beckham Jr. for finally getting free from the most overrated NFL quarterback in the league. He definitely needed to get away from Baker Mayfield. Now Odell Beckham Jr. can get on the team and show individuals that he still is a productive wide receiver. Shout out to Odell Beckham Jr. for getting free.
I don't know about Baker Mayfield being overrated. Everybody calls him average. Like, they just call him, he's just a guy who throws the ball.
No. He's definitely overrated because Baker Mayfield got commercial spots that NFL Super Bowl MVP quarterbacks need to be having. He ain't even won a playoff game yet, and he's the face of Now, I'm not blaming him. His agent is incredible. They cashed in on that initial shock and and initial splash or whatever he got going on. But if they was to start right now and try to get him, he ain't getting them saying commercial spots. Cause that boy is average.
Now, hey, yeah, you're right. You're right. He's very average. He's like a C minus.
Yes, he's the bottom of the average.
Yeah, it's like if C starts at like 70, he's at 70.
The Browns are exactly like the Tennessee Titans. They have a great run game, and they just need a quarterback that is not going to make mistakes.
The Browns also have a great defense. Now,
so do the Tennessee Titans.
I mean, they good. They all right, yeah.
But
hey, something about now that we've got Baker Mayfield free, can somebody? Cam ain't really been good for a while now, but there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, and Cam is better than the quarterbacks that they're playing. So can we get Cam? Can Cam get a spot somewhere?
And he blackballed.
He is, and also, I know Deshaun is in his legal troubles, but can we get him out of Houston at least? You know what I'm saying? Like, just release him or something. Like, don't just hold him hostage. Like, there might be a team that's willing to. They're black.
So, shout out to NFL, man. No Fun League doing what they do, showing us what's important. Once again, showing us what's important. Did you see that? Before we go, did you see the interesting verses they had this week? The Call of Duty verses.
I did not. I peeked in for a little bit, and I didn't understand what I was watching.
I think it was the two. Well, at first they marketed it different. Then they turned into the Big versus Lils.
Yeah, because they're Big Boy and Big Sean versus Lil
Jon and
Lil Tecca.
Lil Tecca, I think it was. Yeah. And
I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me.
I didn't understand it either. But versus, they've been sold and now they're being pimped out. So that's what it is. We can't.
Let's not do that.
Hey man, look, it is what it is. They listen. Swiss,
I'm in denial. I'm not believing that.
Hey, look. It's not a bad thing. Swiss and Timberland built verses up to a point where it was valuable enough to cash in. That's what you're supposed to do as an entrepreneur.
True.
Build it up to a point where it's at its highest value, and you let it go. Cash in. Build up your portfolio. That's what they did. And doing that, everybody that was involved that was supposed to be, they got a piece of the pie. So even though it feels like your versus is being pimped out, on the other side, they getting paid. The artists is getting paid. The culture's getting a little paid. It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just is what it is, man.
Not to well, yeah, we was over that. That was done. We about to start back doing our thing with the guest hosts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested and you see this,
DM Stephen.
You know how to you know what to do. DM wherever you see this, DM the page that you see this on.
Don't DM me. I ain't gonna answer you. DM Pitt.
He not gonna answer you, but he'll talk to the bots all day and tell them that he's not gonna respond to you, but he'll talk to the bots. Okay,
I gotta let you know the DM's broke.
Yeah, the DM's broke. Let me know when you do that.
Hey, man.
Come on, you like talking to them bots.
Yeah, it's funny.
You get off on that.
Yeah,
that's like, and I know when you bored and you just feel like getting a little bit of entertainment for yourself. I don't know what you get out of it, but because sometimes you let it sit there for like a couple hours, then you go back and respond to like, let me know you do. Like, ain't nobody gonna respond to you.
Yeah, man, they see it. The bots pick up
half
on
of the
it.
Half of the time that page get deleted right after they post that message.
Hey, the bots be tuned in, man. They be tapping
bots be tuned in. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody, man, that be tapping in with us. Helping us double up.
Hey, one more thing I wanted to say, bro. Is shout out to you, dog. Like a lot of people don't even know. A lot of people don't really know. But hey, this man stay ready, bro. Like he stay ready. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
I don't know what episode you're on right now, but we getting up there, and we don't do this just for us.
Yeah.
We do this for a bigger reason.
Yeah.
And that'll be divulged at a later time.
Come on, man.
But you know what I'm saying? We do this for a bigger reason, and the love of the culture. But like I said, shout out to you just for staying ready.
Come on, man.
Always being ready. Shout out to you, dog.
We stay ready, man. Shout out to everybody that like I said, helping us double up, helping us get these numbers up, man. Comment, like, tap in, share. YouTube, search Everything's Legit Podcast. SoundCloud at Everything's Legit Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Everything's Legit Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok at Everything's Legit Pod. You can follow me on Instagram at B_realwise. Follow me on TikTok at The Rebel Wise.
Hey, you can follow me on Instagram at _King Pitt. And you can follow me on TikTok at King Pitt 954.
Yes, sir. You know how he gets down, my boy. Another dope episode in the book for us. And until next time, my boy.
Hey, what it is, it's the Fortune Teller Classic, and you tuned in to Everything's Legit, you know, for that legitimate shit only, with my player partners, Wise and Pitt on Rebels Radio. Tap in, nigga.
Yeah.
Like what you got? I was just sitting back, not rapping, nigga. You think niggas ain't get better? Like what you did? I want me a meal to see just how it feel. Ain't worried about no bills, negotiating deals.
Find me some shit, I'm stunning in this bitch, everything legit.
I want me a meal to see just how it feel. Ain't worried about no bills, negotiating deals.